What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome into a $3.17 trillion cryptocurrency market. Bitcoin, 94,338. Ethereum, 3,200. And, well, there's some other coins out there that are absolutely ripping right now. There's only XDC that's decided not to turn up to the party. ICP, even though I said it was bearish, 12%. Oh, my God, the big question on everyone's mind. 2-bit. Is the bull market here? Well, we're going to talk about it tonight, all right? There's some stuff going on in these charts that I think everyone is missing and could be the signal that this market is about to absolutely skyrocket. Now, remember, it's not financial advice on this channel. It is only my interpretation, but we're going to get into some very specifics tonight. It's going to be good. I'm excited about it, right? Been researching this mother trucker tonight for you guys and stuff that I just think people have got not necessarily wrong, but I think they're looking at the wrong thing, all right? And we're going to hopefully try and realign that. We're going to try and get into what's going on and, more importantly, what is coming next, because that's what's on everyone's mind, okay? Are we about to see the breakout? Do we see a retest of 95,600? The break above this key line here at around 95K does tell us that we have more bullish momentum. I'm still not like super like, oh my God, I'm on a 500x leverage long till we get anywhere near 98, 9900K, all right? That's my absolute bull market go on, no go zone. And we're not there yet, but there is definitely some pretty interesting stuff that I want to break down, talk about, get into. All right, so I don't want to mess around tonight. We're just going to get into it. It's going to be epic. Welcome, Tim. Mark Nobody's in the house. Falls, good to see you, man. Beebs, welcome in. RPM. Just FYI, by the way, don't forget, if you want to get access to our Discord, great community, then link in my bio, also in the description. It's free to join at the, I guess, just to be a part of the community. If you want to get a little bit more access, which, you know, we now know that we can pull data from DEXs, DeFi tokens, new launches, all that kind of stuff, then grab a channel membership. It's about $6 a month. Definitely worth it. Trade alerts, trade setups, all what I'm kind of doing, what I'm looking at, thoughts and processes. Equally, some great people in that community right now. So if you're interested, check it out. Totally free, though, if you just want to join the Discord and get involved. Okay. With that being said, let's get into it because I think it's definitely worthwhile. Here we go then. Bitcoin on the move. And if you remember, we touched on this last night. TikTok, I'm going to move you guys so you guys can see the charts as well. Just bear with me as I just position you guys a little bit so you can see. Okay, cool. There you go, TikTokers. You should be able to see that chart. Perfect. Okay, so if you remember, we were touching on this yesterday and we said, hey, Bitcoin is starting to wind up a little bit. It's starting to give us a bit of a move. And there's, in my opinion, a couple of key things to watch out here. And we'll talk about what that is and what the important setups here on some of these potential next moves that we need to be very much aligned for. But the breakout, if you remember, people got a little bit bearish. They were like, oh my God, Bitcoin kind of pulled back down here on Monday. People were a bit like, what's happening? But we said, look, this move is still intact. This breakout from this downward sloping trend line in this triangle pattern here was absolutely playing out. Now, if you remember, what else did we say? We said, well, look, Bitcoin here retesting this support line. Very, very important. We got the bullish crossover back here, which again gave us this upside move to retest this upper range. And then obviously we came down. Now, why is this important? Well, look, we've broken out of this box that we've had, which again has acted as a significant level of support and resistance over the course of at least the last couple of weeks. What's even crazier, though, is when you go in and see exactly what's going on. Look at this. The hold on this lower range, the break to the upside, the retest, almost down to that 20-day exponential moving average that we have been talking about now for literally forever, followed by then a pretty aggressive move. Now, the debate here isn't necessarily the technical structure of this move. It's why. What is this? Why did we see such a move here from the US markets? Okay, the US markets pushed Bitcoin. They pushed cryptocurrency. As Crackerjack says, silver $85. But there is a key thing to know here. Gold selling off. The S&P 500 having a bit of a sell-off. The NASDAQ down 0.5%. Something doesn't feel right. Something feels a little bit off here. And that's what we're going to be talking about. BTC, by the way, still pumping. Expect the US markets to continue to buy. And I haven't checked this data, by the way. I haven't checked it. We're going to literally look at it together. But here's my guess. You can see this TikTok. You guys can't see it on YouTube, but TikTok can see it. My guess here is that we are going to have institutional buying of ETFs. I haven't checked the data. I promise I haven't looked at it, so I don't know. And this could end up not being right, but let's take a look. Market, Bitcoin ETFs. Let's see. Let's see what it is. My guess is buying and, we got some selling. Oh, that's interesting. I think this might change, by the way, before the end of the stream. Markets are still open. Watch out. We'll take a look at it. And I'll tell you why I think that. I'm going to put that down here so I can see it, by the way. I actually thought we'd definitely get some buying pressure in. It looks like it's going to flick green, in my opinion, by the way. So anyway, we'll keep an eye on that one. I think that might change. But this is the question we have to ask ourselves. Why did the US markets move? And the answer to that question is within this chat. Okay, so the YouTube chat, they know the answer. And I'm going to hand over to Magic Craig because Magic Craig knows the answer. Craig, why did BTC pump on market opens in the United States? Why did that happen? Craig, drop your answer in the chat while I say hello to a couple of other people. What's going on, WF? Cracker Jackson, Dave O. I think it's Dave O anyway. DJ Weno. I think that's Dave O. What's going on, buddy? Welcome in. I still haven't heard back from my friend, the Yen. Craig, coming in fresh right now with the Yen, baby. That is exactly correct. More specifically, the collapse of the Japanese yen, all right? It's the collapse of it. It's trading like a freaking meme coin. What the hell is going on? The Japanese yen is collapsing. Why? Oh, why is this important? Well, we'll talk about it. This is the thing. I think everyone's missing this. Everyone's like, oh, the CPI data was bullish. Well, it was okay. Do you know what I mean? We'll get into the CPI data. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but it was okay. It was relatively flat. You could argue, by the way, we're still in the continuation of the downside. So therefore, technically, CPI was reasonably okay. We'll discuss on that. But this, I think everyone's missing. The Japanese yen, it's collapsing. The Japanese government just dumped $425 billion into their economy. Made no difference. Why? Why is the Japanese yen dumping? Oh my God. It's going to be incredibly bullish for markets and could also therefore signal we are going to see a significant rally. Even though we had all the fears of the carry trade, all that nervousness, the Bank of Japan are dumping fiscal policy into this. It's going to be freaking fine. No, the Japanese yen is collapsing right now. I'm going to get into why, and we're going to get into how this is going to play out into the market. This is why you're seeing silver sell off. This is why you're seeing gold sell off a little bit. The stock market is getting hammered. Oracle down 1.18%. Amazon taking a hit here. Some of the Mag 7 are taking a challenge. The actual Japanese currency itself down 0.44%. So I think people are missing this. And this is why I think actually we could see a little bit of a further rally in the price of BTC. We do need to break 95,000 if we want to see a real continuation, maybe even a big breakout, retesting here the 100-day exponential moving average. But these are some of the key things that we'll talk about. But overall, look, markets are looking great on the day. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. As you can see here, this was the continuation of the full market moves. Once again, bullish retest here on the 20-day EMA. We've been talking about this big yellow line for the last, I mean, how long has it been? Like 2 years or something? Could cause global depression. Maybe Sammy Silver. We'll touch on what could be the outcome of it and what the Japanese are doing to try and offset some of this. And don't forget, there's loads of geopolitical stuff going on that could support some of this narrative as well. But we're going to get into all of it, and then I'll let you guys make a decision on the end of it. So overall market, 3.17 trillion, up about 3.27. Great news here. The overall, total 2, which is everything minus BTC and stable coins, also here sticking to the upside as well. Others looking super bullish. These are all everything outside of the top 10. So again, that one's looking pretty good news as well. Now, what we are looking for here though, and again, it depends whether you are exposed to Bitcoin, altcoins, it depends what what you're kind of all about here, but we're looking for BTC dominance to start to come down. That's why I think institutions are still buying. I see silver up $2 from yesterday though. Yeah, silver's flying, by the way. It's down in the 24 hours. So from yesterday, it probably is in the 24 hours. So from the market open for me, which is UTC time, it's up about 1%, but which is going to be what, 86 cents. Probably not far off, right? But if we see BTC dominance start to come down, this could signal a very strong move for altcoins. Note, this is what we're looking for. BTC futures still looking incredibly bullish here to the upside as well. So right now, it's kind of good news. It is, and it could be very much short-lived though. So, don't sort of be like, oh my God, I need to sell my cats and go and buy Bitcoin, because we're not about that here on the channel. We're being methodical. We're being sensible. We're kind of getting into what we need to be aware of, and then we can kind of make some news on it. Okay. Headline, Japanese yen. Think about that as we walk through the next couple of bits. Just give you a bit of a flavor of some of the altcoins. Cardano's moving quite nicely. Aero back up above 3.5%, which is great. HBAR, if you're in that premium Discord, I actually talked about this trade on HBAR. 11823. It's turned out to be a nice little trade here. 20x leverage. If you're interested in trading, check out Bitunix. Link in the Discord or in the details. $10,000 of sign-up bonuses if you get involved with that. Super good. No KYC available over the world. But we took a HBAR trade. 11823 was the entry point. Actually looking like a really nice trade here. Potentially, if we see a little bit above a rejection here on the 20-day, probably close that trade out. But that one's turned out to be pretty nice as well. AVAX coming alive with over 7% on the move near protocol once again. ICP up 12%. Just be mindful of this pump, by the way. I think we probably get a retest of around 340. So if you're in that ICP trade, just be mindful. Might be an opportunity to take a little bit of profit if you missed it. Will there be financial up about 5? And then look, some key areas. I'm definitely looking at Canton Network as a potential buy. If this market continues with us, I think that could be worthwhile. Monero is absolutely losing its mind right now, which is great if you're in the Monero trade. You are definitely seeing capitulation out of Zcash. I absolutely believe Zcash is a real risk if you were taking this on. I don't see Zcash doing a lot, but certainly Canton Network, I think, could be something to keep your eyes peeled on for sure. And likewise, XMR, going to go to $1,000 maybe. It's in price discovery. It's at brand new all-time highs. So be very mindful if you do decide to ape into that trade. And then memes, look, having a good run as well. So Pepe up 7, Bonk, nice little move there. And then look, we've talked about these gold trades. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on BTC price just because I want to, stay focused on sort of where we are with this. But I want to get into some more around, I really need to sort that out, the fact that my face is just entirely engulfed by the screen. Well, let's get into the Japanese yen stuff, all right? Because it's going to be pretty interesting. It's going to be interesting. Now's the best time for this year to buy digital assets. Well, I wouldn't buy on a 4% BTC move. I'd just chill out. But yeah, buy more HBAR. Crackerjack knows. Crackerjack knows. Okay, joy sold temporary though for both of us. This is a fake out before the tariff ruling. I mean, tariff ruling tomorrow, yeah. I still think they either delay it or they don't. I just don't see it. Now, Trump's been on an enormous move, hasn't he, today? He's been talking about fiscal policy. He's been talking about tariffs, that if you don't like tariffs, you are pro-China, which is, it's a pretty bold statement. But anyway, we'll get into the tariff news as well, because CPI sort of is supporting the tariff nature, which is good. So the big debate on everyone's mind right now, though, is the Trump-onomics going to work? Is Trump pumping this market? Is Trump sending us to brand new all-time highs? Why is it pumping to a bit? What a miss. We're just about to get into it now, Aiden. We're just about to get into the meat and two-veg of what's going on with this particular move. So President Trump said this: I want markets to go up. When the markets go up, you lower rates. This is a continuation of his offensive against Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve. So look, Trump is all about it. He wants these markets. He's absolutely driving it as hard as he possibly can. He needs it for midterms. I saw a poll earlier on. Democrat favors 70% likely to win the House. Republicans 30%. So he's going to get this market moving. How do people feel like things are going in the right direction? They pay less for stuff. All right. It's a dead simple thing. It's like if you ever worked in a customer service or a customer-centric job. Basically, if anyone's complaining, they're like, oh, this service was terrible. You say, hey, do you want your meal for 50% off? They're like, yep, I'm cool with it. What a place. What a guy. All right. I'm shorting everything right now. Fat Sonic's absolutely sending it to the gutter. Come on, bro. Dash is ripping. Is it really, Beebs? It's wild. I'm assuming that the Supreme Court will delay their decision on Trump's tariff. I think they'll either delay it or they'll vote in favor of Trump. I just can't see them logistically even entertaining it because it's going to be wild. But anyway, okay. So let's get into it. So as we talked about here, look, Japanese yen is collapsing right now. It is going to zero. You've got the Iranian dollar, or whatever it is, that's going to zero. The Japanese yen, it's gone on fairground. The Japanese yen collapsing after all of the hype, all of the excitement of like, hey, the Japanese yen was stimulating the economy. Like all of this super bullish stuff is insane. And what's important here, look, is it's trading like a freaking meme coin. The divergence between the 40-year and the 10-year is enormous, right? And actually against the USD, it's collapsing, right? Super interesting here. But there is a strong divergence between the Japanese 40-year and the 10-year spread and the JPY USD exchange rate, right? It should, simply put, be trading higher. That's the reality of this. The Japanese dollar should, or the Japanese yen, sorry, should be trading harder, right? It's not. It's collapsing. Like, why? Why is the Japanese markets just completely falling out of love? Well, here is the big kicker. The carry trade is not as big as a lot of people believed. And actually, we saw the carry trade get wiped out. So right now, you got to ask yourself the question, Why am I going to go into the Japanese market when I can go and get the 2-year or the 10-year at 4.17%, right? So once again, if the Japanese yen is coming down, this ultimately means you get more money for your dollars. Who cares about interest rates when you can get yen at half price? Like, people are buying yen. They're then why have I just done that? They're then moving over into US markets and they are buying treasury bonds. We're seeing exactly the same. And I guarantee, well, I can't guarantee actually, that's probably not the right thing. But I definitely think we're going to see some sort of poll that comes out that'll say, hey, you know, people are flooding into the Japanese market. They're buying bonds. Japan's buying US bonds again. Like, certainly feel like it's going to be something like that. Powell being investigated now then? Yeah. Well, they're doing a grand jury indictment. So it's kind of the precursor to a criminal investigation. But yeah, pretty good. If I'd have bought yen, I would have had sold at the top. There you go, Craig. You see, Craig would have made an absolute killing. But this is important. And like we said, the yen should be trading higher. Of all of the stuff we've been talking about, of all the max fear, all this tells us this carry trade is simply not as big as a lot of people let us believe. And well, this is pretty good news if you ask me, as we kind of walk through this. Now, here is the Japanese Bank of Japan trying to get things going. They injected 425 billion Japanese yen. Like, it's kind of wild to think about it. So, you know, we look at like the repo debt for the Fed, and we haven't looked at this for a while actually, because liquidity is kind of okay. But when you look at the repo debt for the US banking sector, and we talk about, oh, well, they injected, I think the worst we got was 10 billion. If you remember, I think the worst we got was like 10 billion. Okay, something like that. And, you know, the Japanese are just like, oh my God, we need to put like $425 billion in. So here's the repo debt. It's 3 billion. That's pretty much in line to where, you know, this particular number normally is. You know, you can see here, look, all the way back to probably late last year, other than that spike where it was like an absolutely insane amount, which I think was, you know, going through Christmas. But, you know, this has kind of been a general, where we've been over the course of the last, 12 months, 18 months, maybe a bit longer. So, you know, the US dollar, like, liquidity is fine. Like, people are not freaking out like they were. Japanese yen, however, is freaking collapsing. And this is essentially making it easier for people to get. Now, that doesn't mean that we can't see an increase in the potential risk of the carry trade, but I just don't think people are, because they're just going to go into US stock markets. Like, you've got potential de minimis £600 rebate on crypto assets. You've got stock markets pumping to new all-time highs, gold going insane, silver going crazy. Like, why are you going to go into Japanese bonds, Japanese stocks? Like, everyone's coming back to the US market. Another reason why I think they don't vote on tariffs, by the way, because what you can't argue with liquidity that's flowing into the crypto market right now, or more importantly, just generally flowing into it. I talked about this in my Bitcoin update video this morning. The actual liquidity measure just broke 2 downtrending lines, which is super, super interesting as well. And let me see if I can find that chart, because it's a really interesting chart. And again, probably aligns to the fact that we are seeing what we've been talking about for ages. Now, I must stress here that this isn't me going all in on like, oh, I'm buying so much Bitcoin, like my arms and eyes are bleeding. That's all I'm saying, right? Because I still think there's some key things we need to be mindful of. But here's the chart. Look at this. Liquidity is coming back. US liquidity indicator broke the 2 descending trend lines, making new highs since last October. So you can see down here, liquidity is flowing back into the market. And if you go back to when last October was, what did we get? We got all-time highs on Bitcoin. Bitcoin was ripping. The markets were going crazy. Everyone was super, super max bullish. So this kind of whole Japanese yen thing is super, super interesting. And the fact that we are seeing that money exit the Japanese market. People are simply not FOMOing in. They're not going to go and get money. Why? They don't need to. US stock market right now is ripping. You can see here, look, from the S&P at 6962, wicked to literally just under 7,000, which is freaking insane. And even a close today is similar to where you were yesterday. We'll take a look at the pre-markets and all that in a little bit. But, you know, this is, in my opinion, a pivotal moment in markets. Now we might get a retrace tomorrow. Who knows? The Q's down a little bit. But yeah, the stock market is very much ripping. And that's why I think you've got a lot not going into the Japanese yen. And again, you can see there, the Japanese yen bears retain control. And they're 159 ahead of US CPI report. We'll take a look at that in a minute. So we could see fireworks tonight when the Japanese wake up. Potentially, yeah. I mean, let's just in fact, I'm not going to show you guys because it's more fun if I don't show you. Let's see what the, remember we talked about this yesterday, midnight in UK is when the Japanese markets open. So US markets look a little bit selly-offy at the minute. But let's see what the Shenzhen and all the rest of it looks like. Gold. Holy shit, that can't be right. Oh my god, the Nikkei's got potential on the pre-market 3%. Oh, 3.1. It's got a change of 1,609. I mean, the overall price, by the way, is 53,000, but 3% on the Nikkei. Like, what? Look out, baby. Might be pretty interesting. Equally, like, we might go to Goblin Town, so more on that in a bit. But yeah, the Japanese yen attracts heavy follow-through selling amid a combination of negative factors. Again, liquidity going back to the US market, Bank of Japan uncertainty. They are potentially even talking about a snap election. I mean, it's like the England football team all over and again. If they don't win, get rid of the manager, is useless. Well, looks like the Japanese potentially are going to do that. But the Japanese yen maintained its heavily offered tone through early European session and hangs near its lowest level since July 2024, touched against a firmer US dollar this Tuesday, which, look, I mean, Trump did everything he can to try and devalue the dollar, which is kind of good for risk on assets to a degree. But Tibber, what's going on, buddy? Welcome in. Robert Dover's in the building. Welcome, welcome. Tim! Do you guys think he dyed his hair? Who? Me? Are you asking why? Did I dye hair? RPM, I was hoping Mike would show it on the show. What's that? RPM. Oh, I missed that. Craig, let's continue ignoring him. Can I see Tim's comment? We all agree most of that CZ manipulates the market. Maybe him and Trump. I mean, maybe that would be wild if that was the case. Tim, am I missing something? I can see Tim's comments. I just haven't really seen it. Have I missed something, Tim? I'm thinking I need some Canton and Tau. Interesting. I don't know if that was well. I was you're trying to get my attention. Sorry, Tim. Go on. I'm looking now, bro. I'm looking. I'm all over it. If it's are you referring to me if I'm dyeing my hair? That's wild. He wants it on Canton and Tau. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got that. Canton definitely I'm interested in, and I probably want to see a little bit more of a cool off. But yeah, Super Gals in the house. Welcome in. Brand new to the channel, I think, or certainly brand new to talking out. What's going on? Just got wiped on the live trade today. Oh, George, what's going on, buddy? Yo, greetings from Rotterdam. Welcome in. Hey, welcome in, everybody. If you haven't and it's your first time here, by the way, think about subscribing. It's definitely worth it. Don't forget, we've got a totally free Discord as well, in which you can jump in, talk to the community, talk to me, or if you want to grab a little bit more where we've got our bots and all the rest of it, trade alerts, you name it, we got you covered. Grab a channel membership, $6. Totally worth it, in my opinion. Okay. So, continuing on with the Japanese yen, the Prime Minister Sanae Takachini say that they may call a snap election, take advantage of strong approval ratings, fueled hopes for more expansion or expansionary fiscal policy. And this is why you are getting this kind of probably difference in appeal that everyone's like, oh my God, the carry trade's going to wreck us. Like everyone's freaking out. And the reality is people don't want to go into the Japanese yen. This is super good news for the stock market, but equally for the crypto market as well. Why? Because people are like, hey, if the Japanese yen's going to freaking collapse or it's going to certainly push down, then give me some BTC. I think that's where people are right now. Mr. Unfungible, what's going on, bro? Welcome in, pal. Hope you're doing well. Just found out that Pengu can be DeFi. Pengu was doing well today, actually. Any thoughts on Pengu? 10 billion market cap in the future. Let's talk about that in a minute. I mean, I've been definitely seeing some pretty good news as well. Damien, thanks for the heart me, by the way, bro. Appreciate it. Don't forget, tap the screen, hit the follow button, all that good stuff. We appreciate you guys. So, yeah, I mean, with all this stuff going on with the Japanese yen, I just think people are missing that. And I think if you have the Japanese yen with a strong market, what we don't need is a derail from the tariffs tomorrow, right? Because I think you get volatility in the market. Whether it's a good or bad thing, I don't really know. The reason why I don't believe they're going to do it is the actual there's 1,000 lawsuits that are going against the Trump administration from small businesses going to claim money back. Like, it should be a mess. It's probably worth not doing. Anyway, so two big things that Trump's obviously trying to push in the back of it. Now, you will have seen, obviously, him double down on the fact that he went after Jerome Powell again today, saying that, like, he should lower rates. Jerome Powell's a problem. Now taking liquidity from my holdings and rotating to stable to buy more Pengu. Interesting. Bullish. So consumer price, by the way, came in. Index for shelter rose 0.4. This is going to be one of the key things to look out for. Food up about 0.7. Okay, cool. The index for energy rose 0.3 in December. Okay, think about what that is. Betamax, what are you typing, bro? See all my yen exchange, it's for the US dollars. Why is it all in Japanese? Anyway, like we said, I don't want to go too much into CPI, but it is worth it. Pengu to 0.02 soon. I mean, it's still probably, what, 50% drawdown from where it's been? You could argue that we are consistently seeing decline now in CPI, so you could argue that inflation is actually lowering versus increasing, which obviously is contrary to what people believe in terms of the tariff narrative. So, you know, this is sort of playing out into Trump's view of markets are healthy, markets are good. It's aligned to where you get, you know, US CPI inflation 1.74%. Think about that. Like, that is beneath the Fed's 2% target, which is why Trump's like, bro, come on. You need to be dropping some of this money. What's interesting with CPI, by the way, and I was looking at this earlier, look at this, and we talked about this as a big thing, which is why I think potentially the January CPI read might be, well, maybe not January, actually, February CPI read might be wild. What trading? What's going on, bro? Holy crap, where have you been? I think it's trapping the pumps. Tam, maybe? Yeah, maybe. That's why I said I've got some key lines that I am waiting for things to hit. And people say, well, too bad you missed the button. No. I'd rather be in absolute confirmation mode and, you know, take those small trades that we talked about, like H-bar trade and a couple of others, than, you know, 8 back in out of some stable coin and be like, bro, we got a 12% decline, whatever it is. But here, just some things to note, by the way. Gasoline on the unadjusted 12 months down. Look at this. Down on 2 numbers, no surprise. Fuel down in December, 1.5. So energy costs coming down again. This is a big driver of inflation. So again, the fact. Now, what does this look like when you dump 50 million barrels of oil from Venezuela into the US markets? Well, you're going to see energy come down even further, which overall will make a significant difference to the total price. They said this: the index for energy increased 0.3 in December. The natural gas index increased. The index for gasoline decreased 0.5% over the month. And again, the electricity index declined 0.1% in December. So, you know, there is a real kind of, I guess the bit that people feel the most, gasoline. It's like everyone measures, you know, inflation on gasoline. So, you know, that's a very, very specific point. And you can see kind of how it breaks down to a little bit more detail here. I don't envisage to go through the whole of the report here, but yeah, I mean, tick in the box, right? Tick in the box. That's where I get to in terms of CPI data, which is sort of, you know, pushed a couple of this idea, which is good. So, you know, Japanese yen coming down, great news. Fed not dumping loads of money into banking structure, good news. CPI also relatively stable. Let's not say it's like super bullish, because it's not. But the point would be that it was okay. You know, people thought it would roll over. Everyone was expecting, you know, worst case scenario. Didn't get it, which, you know, is good. Like, you know, that's an okay number. Now, you know, what does it mean in terms of Federal Reserve? Not a lot, right? If you're pinning any hopes on a rate cut, the only way you get a rate cut is by Trump's strong arm in Jerome Powell. And I still, after all of this, don't believe he'll do it. You know, I don't know how he made. I mean, he's got 14 days essentially to get rid of him. And I still don't think they'd cut rates. So I think the best you could hope would potentially be March, but I think it's unlikely. April, unlikely. Because don't forget, if CPI is coming down, inflation's coming down, why do you need to cut rates? That's the view. Now, obviously, we all want rates, and that's a big, big driver for the midterms. You're probably looking at June before you could really say, hey, we could get that. But you could get a June cut. You could potentially get a July cut. And then you potentially get, so you could be at like 2.75 going into the midterms. You think about it, that'd be, you know, 0.5%. That'd be what? 1% over the course of the Trump administration so far. You know, you could say it. Now, the other way, you flip it on its head and say you get Kevin Hassett that'll just be like, yeah, let's cut 50. We'll cut in bloody April. Like, you could expect 2% interest rate going into the midterms, which would be insane in fairness. But, you know, think about it that way. So we could definitely see a little bit more bullish momentum on this one. But yeah, the Japanese one is good. Okay, let's talk about this as well, because this is a big deal. And this is obviously coming on Thursday. The US Senate dropped the crypto market structure draft bill. So this is essentially what they're going to debate in the Senate on Thursday. The most important attempts yet to write clear rules for crypto in the US. Now, there are some things here that maybe aren't so great. And Brian Armstrong has come out from Coinbase saying, bruh, like, you've got to be able to have yield on stable coins. It's essentially the oil of the crypto market. And they've gone, no. I mean, obviously, why would they say no to that? Well, JP Morgan's like, hey, you can't give yield on stable coins. You need to use JPM coin. Like, come on. But anyway, let's break down some of the summaries. Great summary here by Bull Theory. I just thought I'd steal his work, in fairness, rather than, sort of go through it. But we'll put a spin on it and we'll sort of talk about what it looks like. So, finally defines who regulates crypto. We're going to see this, right? Who is going to look after it? Now, obviously, in the olden days, or I said the olden days, 3 years ago, the SEC looked after it, and it was all Gary Gensler. We all know how that played out. And essentially, the SEC is, they are the custodians of people's safety when investing into these markets. Now, what happens, though, is at the point of this, we're going to get regulation split. Who is going to look after it? Securities and Exchange Commission or the CFTC? A lot of people want the CFTC. Gets treated exactly the same. Now, TLDR, dead quick on this one, they are going to potentially class XRP, Solana, Dogecoin, all of these altcoins in the same categorization as Bitcoin and Ethereum. So if this goes through on Thursday, I think we could even hit the, bull market go or no goes on. Just my opinion. No one is talking about another government shutdown in the end of this month. They've passed the bill that they shut it down with last time, haven't they? So they expanded. I always get confused with this. They expanded Medicaid or Medicare. I don't know which one it is. Anyway, it's been expanded for 2 years. The Republicans agreed to it. The government shutdown, by the way, just dead quick. The last one was never about policy. That was about Trump not bringing jobs data out and the SOM rule being triggered. Like, that was never about policy. Never, ever. It was just a way of positioning the markets to make sure that everyone thought it was a Democrat shutdown, that it was all about, Medicare and all the rest of it. It wasn't. It was just about, hey, these jobs data are crap. CPI is going to be crap. Let's just not put it in. You even see it here on the graph, look. Like, if you think about it, CPI would have been, you would have had these probably a 0.4 or 0.5 on both of these. It would have looked something like this. Everyone's like, oh my God, the economy's falling to pieces. Anyway, Jose, what's going on? 2 bits bullish. Time to short them, boys. You see, this is the difference. I am not bullish yet. I am bullish on the day, and I think there's a lot of reasons to be more optimistic, but I'm not bullish. I've said I'm still in stablecoin. I haven't done anything on the back of it, but hey, you short on, let me know, bro. I just need Algo to pump one of my worst performing coins. Yeah, I can feel that, Zach Hudson. I can totally feel that. So, definition of who looks after crypto, right? Important. It creates a new asset type called ancillary assets, right? So this basically puts crypto in its own box. These tokens are not securities. They are ancillary assets, meaning that they are not treated like shares. They don't need an IPO style rules, but they still need transparency. So you essentially are getting a real, point here with crypto, which is going to be good. It forces real project disclosure. This is a big one for me, in my opinion, by the way. Who's building it? I mean, if you just look at today, which is possibly the craziest thing I think I've ever seen in my entire life. The former mayor, Eric Adams, proud son of Bronzeville, retired NYPD captain, 110th mayor of New York City, launched a freaking meme coin and rug pulled it. Like, what? What? Eric Adams, bro, what are you doing? But yeah, literally launched a meme coin, and that's what it looked like. He literally rugged liquidity, like, stop buying celebrity meme coins. They are garbage. Utter freaking garbage. So, yeah, I mean, it's absolutely freaking insane that he rugged it for I think it was 400K or something. But yeah, pretty insane. So this will give all that, governance works, risk exits, how the system works, who owns how much, etc. Right? Good news, in my opinion. Ripple fought for 200 million USD for the same reason. I mean, yeah, that's true. That's true. Was that Eric Adams story true? Yeah, definitely true, yeah. Yep, he posted here, look. Eric Adams, this is his account. Proud to launch NYC token, a new token built to fight the rapid spread of anti-Semitism and anti-Americanism across the country and around New York City. Rugged it. Like, what? What? It's like the most insane thing in the world if you think about it. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, continuing on. Big fundraisers must show audited data. So this will be important, actually. Project raises serious money, 25 milli plus, must show audited financials. So you're not going to get these enormous pre-sales that it's raised $100 million. Like, they're going to have to, especially if they want to launch in the US. Remember, they can always go the Seychelles or whatever it is. But yeah, audited financials, that funds are real and they show how the money is going to be used. This kills fake treasuries, paper numbers, etc., right? Good news. You've also got a big thing here around developers and builders, so they know who it is. Also creates legal path for decentralization, sufficiently decentralized. They stop being treated like securities, regulation becomes lighter. So DeFi is going to get a boost. Now, the big one, all right, the one we all want, this one here, it regulates exchanges properly. That's a pretty big deal. Register, right? So not so much that we have in the UK, which is where they'll disclose your unrealized gains, bought, sold, volumes, buys, all that stuff. This is about the exchange themselves. What safeguards do they have in? What are they doing in terms of making sure they're not liquidating, customer funds, separate user funds from company funds, custody rules, market surveillance, prevent wash trading, all right? So essentially, if there was ever this debate here that exchanges were deliberately crashing markets, that they were deliberately dumping stuff, this will fix that, or certainly will go somewhere to fix it. All right, good news if you ask me. It bans wash trading and fake volume, aligned, by the way, to Senate, people or governmental people not doing it as well. It criminalizes spoofing and front running. So if you're part of certain exchanges, I don't want to say who, but buy and sell walls, if you've traded these markets, and let me tell you, it's 3.5 mil. Is that what it was? That is insane, bro. Let me give you an example. You go to trade an asset on a particular exchange, and you're like, right, I'm gonna go in my buy point, $100,000. You trigger, and all of a sudden you've gone long. It keeps dumping. You're like, what the hell is this? Like, how has this happened? This is similar to what was happening with Alameda Research and FTX. They were essentially front running their customer base. There is lots of allegations that other exchanges out there are doing exactly the same. Some with pretty convincing proof out there as well, but this essentially will stop it. It criminalizes it. That's a big freaking deal. If you're going to run an exchange, you better run it right. And I think this is only good news. And I know some people don't like this, but when you've got that proof of reserves, we kind of have, but this will be a federally audited proof of reserves. Great news. It brings DeFi into financial planning. So again, it's going to be part of the financial infrastructure, cybersecurity planning, as well as system risk monitors and everything else. This is essentially the key things, the 11 fundamentally important points that are going to come through in this market structure bill. And hopefully it comes through on Thursday. Now, what's my view on what this is going to look like? I don't think they go for it. I think it gets delayed. I think they don't vote for it. I can't imagine that the Democrats are going to vote in favor of this. Now, you might get a couple. I think, is it John Fetterman? I think he's reasonably balanced with some of this stuff. So maybe he goes into it. I don't actually know how many Democrats own cryptocurrency. Should we see if we can find that? How many Democrats have crypto? New survey US voters. No, find out where politicians stand on crypto. Here we go. So let's see if we can see this isn't gonna really go down. Here we go. Party Democrats. Let's have a look. So, there's actually quite a few in fairness. Kristen Gillibrand, don't know who she is, but anyway, Richard Torres. Elizabeth Warren's not a surprise that she's strongly against it. Brad Sherman, don't know who he is. Anyone else we know here that could be a supporter that we all know? I don't know any of these, by the way. I'm not obviously up to speed with it, but hey, there's probably more actually. There's probably more than we thought. Now, I guess the question therefore would be, let's take a look. All stance on crypto, anti-crypto. Let's take a look. Elizabeth Warren, yeah, no surprise. Hakeem Jeffries, no surprise there, I don't think. Who else on that list? Doris, whoever that is. Doris Matsui. She is not a fan of cryptocurrency. Chuck Schumer, no surprise. So quite a few here. Quite a few. Lots of Democrats. In fact, is there any Republicans that are like anti-crypto? Doesn't look like it, does it? Democrat. Yeah, man, they're pretty all Democrats. Every single one of them. Wow. Who would have thought that? So, it's definitely possible that this goes through quicker. Fat Sonic says, I think it should pass. I'm down for it. Let's hope so, hey? Let's hope so. Warren owns the... Yeah, 100%. Logitech, what's going on, bro? Welcome in. Yeah, I think so, Mark Noby as well. That's absolutely insane what's going on up there as well. But yeah. So... pretty good news as well, by the way, that we sort of get this kind of stuff and, maybe it gets put through. Maybe it gets put through. Just maybe. Maybe this is the week it all changes. The market structure bill gets signed off. Trump pumps the economy like Bitcoin goes to $1 million. I don't know. You know what I mean? Let's worry about it in a minute. Warrants a BTC Maxi. Oh, love it. Because you can't really say that about the Trump coin as the front-running celebrity meme coins. It's been rugged. It has still proof. Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, yeah. I mean, the Trump coin was still... The difference, I think, with the Trump coin was you had so much going into it, and they probably didn't need to... I mean, they'd probably scalped some stuff out there. Like, you'd be naive to believe they did it, in my opinion, but... for what it's worth. But, yeah, so, again, this is kind of interesting. So, this may actually pass. Who knows? We'll see. I mean, that's probably right, Cupton. You probably are 100% right. And actually, well, how many people, so he doesn't tell us, does it? Yeah. How many people would be, well, let's see how many neutral. There's quite a few neutrals, I guess. Not loads, but Jasmine Crockett is neutral. Who'd have thought that? Okay, right. Now, worth noting here as well, by the way, Frankel Templeton is positioned in 2 money market funds for tokenized finance under the Genius Act. I wonder why. Frankel Templeton repositioned 2 institutional money market funds managed by Western Asset Management to support stablecoin reserves under the Genius Act and to operate across blockchain-enabled distribution platforms, signaling another step towards merging traditional liquidity products with tokenized finance. Oh, it just so happens they thought about doing it today. They were like, hey, I know what's a good idea. It's Tuesday. Let's just, bring some of our market money funds. Let's make sure we got stable coins. Let's freaking tokenize it. And yeah, it's not like anything's happening in a couple of days, is it? Like, get it in there. Go on, Franklin Templeton. So, again, really, really good news, right? Really good news, in my opinion. Which, again, Tim. So, yeah, again, another indicator, in my opinion, of some really, really bullish news. Now, how do we bring all this together, and what could tell us that, well, what we've talked about is important? Well, this chart is pretty interesting, right? The AI-driven borrowing is pushing investors to seek more downside protection. So this view of like insane overvaluations with AI, right? Which we've seen, we've talked about, we've definitely sort of, certainly picked up, is enormous, right? The weekly trading volume in credit default swaps tied to major tech companies rose to $8 billion. The potential risk of this is enormous. People are like, hey, this is kind of a little bit wild right now, right? By comparison, volumes are steady around 3 billion. That's fine. But when you look at things like Meta trading below the 20-week moving average and looks very weak, we just looked at Amazon, Google, all these kind of places, right? Investors are quietly hedging against AI debt risk. And how do you hedge against AI debt risk? Well, you can take stuff out that like is a protection against it, or you go into something you deem as less risky, but with still a big enough upside. And what's that? BTC, baby. That's what it is. To be the business cycle, ISM has always corresponded with the halving cycle, but this time it didn't. Is this bullish for 26? Well, the argument on the ISM is that default on the debt to 26. So the bull run, the halving was very different, wasn't it? We even saw at the point in which the halving came in, we pumped too fast, we pumped too soon, we were well overpriced, we shouldn't have been. My view is it's less about specifics. What is the ISM and business cycle? What do? They drive liquidity into the market. For me, that's the important metric I'd be looking at right now. Yes, the business cycle and ISM are indicators that liquidity is favoring, rates are coming down, more money is available, Fed printing more money, balance sheet going up, are all drivers of liquidity. And that's what the business cycle is. That is ultimately what the ISM is. What you need to see, and it's interesting that Trump is in Detroit, but just an example is that car manufacturing zone. You want to see ISM manufacturing tick up. That's what we need to see. If you get an ISM tick up. Now, did anyone see what happened today in terms of why I think Trump is like he is literally trying to single-handedly send this market to new all-time highs. Like he's purposely just like, I will freaking send this market to oblivion. If you saw the Ford plan in Detroit have now gone to a 6-day, 24/7 operation. They're like, we're going to pump some of these cars out, baby. Get ready. So he is deliberately trying to stimulate manufacturing, which will be interesting. It wouldn't surprise me if we don't get some sort of tax break or some kind of, something that will come down and be like, if you are a car manufacturer or a manufacturer, you're going to get a little bit of a tax break. But he is deliberately trying to drive this market. You get an ISM reading above 50 and yeah, it could be good night Vienna and I'll see you in in Valhalla. That's exactly what we could get. So we are looking for that. Now, we did get a tick down in the last ISM read, so we're looking for that potential January read coming in that could be pretty bullish. So we'll have to wait and see what that comes in as. But fingers crossed we get it. It's due on the 2nd of Feb, by the way. Just to kind of give you a view. Supreme Court may rule Wednesday on Trump's tariffs, but here's what it means. If it holds off again. I'm assuming you're typing something. We'll read that one. Clarity vote pushed back till last week of January. Is it? 73% Trump tariffs illegal? Yeah, I mean, the poly market indicators are pretty bad. If the tariffs get deemed illegal, do you not think the markets will pump? No, I think the markets will dump. Now, the debate will be how long do they dump for and what does it look like? Because people freak out about it. Don't forget, people do not like uncertainty. It's not about price. We talked about this before. It's not even essentially. I actually said about the tariffs. I don't think risk on assets particularly care about tariffs. I don't think we care about them because it doesn't really affect the crypto market. What does affect the crypto market is uncertainty, and markets don't like uncertainty. So I think if the Trump tariffs are voted illegal, they would go. The bigger risk would be, right, what is he going to use then? Don't forget there's 4 other rules he can use to impose these tariffs. Like, this isn't just a one and done. Like, these are like, this will be a years and years. And in fairness, the best thing they could probably do is simply just rule on them as being fine. Now, don't forget, we looked at the Supreme Court. It's Republican favored, 2 Trump appointees. So, yeah, as much as people think they're going to rule against him, it's only people's view, isn't it? It's only people's view. So hopefully, where would I want them to go to? I think for stability in the market, don't vote against them. And it's a lot of stuff with Trump, isn't it? It's not necessarily what he's done, it's how he's done it. I think people are like, it's like the Jerome Powell thing. It's like, is it worth dragging this through the courts for the sake of a few months? Like, just let him go and move on. I have roundabouts where I live. A fair play. American cars can't go round roundabouts. Yeah, maybe. Okay, right. Let's close that down. Close that down. Okay, we've got the BTC price here. Let's keep on the 12 hour, actually. I think the 12 hours way nice. I mean, this could even be a nice little cup and handle pattern here, couldn't it? We could see this, this kind of cup and handle, come back down, retest this low range here that's sitting at around 92.5K, followed by a bazinga blast off. Maybe we get that. Maybe that's kind of the play. I don't know. We'll have to see. It depends on how the markets feel, in my opinion. So I think you'll find there'll be plenty of buyers considering that they're dropping car sales and all. Yeah, well, I mean, don't forget there's a potentially $10,000 stimulus that's going to go into it as well, which would be pretty crazy on new cars. So he wants to push manufacturing, and fair play. If you get manufacturing cooking, then it is gonna be wild. The 2026 Trump pump could well be in effect, by the way. I'll keep this open just so we can see a little bit. Strong liquidity here, 94,300. Probably why we didn't break through it at that point. So let's keep close to it because it's probably worth just having on our radar, in my opinion. All right, good. What if that's the handle part of the cup and handle? Or the broader cup and handle, like on the 3-day? Like this, like the yeet. And this is just going to pump to oblivion. Hey, Robert Dover. Maybe that's right, Curtis. Maybe that is the cup and handle look. And then maybe that's right. Oh my gosh. PCE is tomorrow, right? I think it's PCE day tomorrow, isn't it? Am I making that up? Or is it PMI? Is it PMI or PCE? I can't remember. PPI. Oh my God. Come on, bro. Yeah, PPI. It's probably going to come in flat. Forecast 0.2, consensus 0.3, month over month 0.4, retail sales 0.4. So, I mean, yeah, the producer price index, in theory, probably should actually be okay. Should probably be okay. I mean, if you've got consumer price index been pretty flat, I mean, imagine it comes in like better, like, hold on to your freaking hats, baby. Somebody else says it's a big deal because it would give the president Congress power over the purse the way he did it with tariffs. It's a big deal because, so I'm confused. What was that in relation to? If they vote for tariffs, you mean? I believe I just said that they were starting to see a bit of a sell-off, but I'd like to retest 92.5, 93K. Yeah, maybe. I'm in New Jersey. We have roundabouts, but typically US states don't have them. There you go, you see. There you go. I thought they would just have a straight roads in America. Maybe. Maybe. All right, good. TJ, what's going on, buddy? Welcome in. If the Supreme Court allowed the tariffs, it means it's okay for a president to bypass Congress, and it's not allowed within the context of the specific law. Yeah, well, it's the policy in which you used, wasn't it? It's like the emergency economic policy or something. What's it called? IEEPA, isn't it? IEEP. I can't remember exactly what it's called now. It is that's it, the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. That's what he's used for all of the tariffs, the IEEPA tariffs. But he can use loads of other ones as well. I actually did a graphic on this. Did I do a graphic on this? Maybe I didn't, actually. Maybe I didn't. But yeah, he can use about 4 other ones. And again, that's the risk, isn't it? That's the uncertainty that the markets won't like. Is like, okay, so we vote again, they vote against this one, and then bosh, they're just on a different thing. It's okay for tariffs to use a rule that doesn't mention tariffs. Yeah, well, yes, it's the IEEPA, isn't it? Trump invoked an international emergency economic powers to impose reciprocal tariffs on goods from nearly every foreign trading partner, citing trade deficits as a national emergency. Now, in fairness, if you take a look at what happened, then the trade deficit is as low as I think it's been for a long time. So, yeah, pretty interesting. And none of this meets the criteria for emergency tariffs. I love the fact that you guys are talking about roundabouts still. Wild. Okay, so we are seeing a little bit of a sell-off. Again, I don't think it's anything to stress about personally. So they're on the 4-hour chart, a little bit of a sell-off, but hey, it is what it is. There's on the hourly chart. We'll keep an eye on this right now. Again, the rest of the market looks pretty bullish in fairness. 13% on ICP is kind of wild that is continuing to push up, as is XMR as well. So stay close to it. I wonder if Aerodrom's APR's changed, just because normally when the price goes up, the APR changes as well. But let's take a quick look at this. Oh no, Americans would cope with the spaghetti roundabout junction in Manchester. Which one? I drive to Manchester like every day. Although I didn't today. I had to drive to like the absolute end of nowhere. 7.93. Oh, come on, Aerodrom Finance. Bro. Not good. What's going on, Shab? It's good to see you, man. Welcome in, buddy. What's a roundabout? It's just not worth knowing, if I'm honest. It's not worth knowing. Okay, right. Let's bring it back on track before we get derailed in something else. So, what we can expect to see, certainly over the course of the next 24 hours, I think a lot may be on PPI. Let's see what predictions market says. Prediction for PPI. Let's see what it says. Has to be some series in limited time. I expect a big sell-off if the taxes need to be returned. Yeah, I agree. And again, the point here is that they will be nervous. So PPI, just as an example, last time was the PPI final round advance at 0.3. So it ticked up, actually. It did tick up in the last read back in December. So, yeah. Oh, sorry, September. Man, is that the last time we had PPI? No way, bro. Really? Oh, yeah. Man, that's crazy, actually. That's crazy that we haven't had a read since. Yeah, so we got a little bit of a tick up in the cost of goods. So you'd be looking for a tick down in the markets, I guess. That would be kind of good news. Maybe that, maybe that stimulates a little bit more in the market. But, yeah, producer price index, US Bureau says, oh, excuse me. An increase in PPI indicates that manufacturers generally pay more to produce consumer goods, which in theory is an indicator of tariffs being negative on the economy. So, that'd be why Trump doesn't want to see PPI go up, which it hasn't done. It's kind of, stayed reasonably stable. So, yeah, probably interesting. Pretty interesting, in fairness. American trade deficit the lowest since 2009. That's it. In fact, let me go here. I saw a thing about that the other day. Again, I just think that's another reason why they don't vote against them. Now, whether I think that's right or not, I'm a selfish man because I just want crypto to go up. Yeah, let's just take a quick look at this trade deficit stuff. So US, oh yeah, I did actually have this in a video, in fairness. So Jan 10th, non-monetary. Oh no, we don't want to see that, actually. We don't want to see that. We want to see. Is it not just a chart? It's kind of annoying, actually. Okay. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, the US trade deficit has been cut in half under President Trump. CNBC left shocked. Buckle up. 29.4 billion cut in half in March, and it was 136 billion and it's now under 30 billion. So that gives you an indication as to, I mean, what the tariff effect is essentially, good or bad. You know, you can't argue with the data, or certainly the data that we have. I mean, you could definitely argue with the validity of the data right now, but yeah, we'll see. Apparently, Milton Keynes has 130 roundabouts. Is that true? That's wild. I'm never going to Milton Keynes ever. Yeah, pretty crazy if you ask me. All right, good. Okay, let's close that. Pre-markets. Let's take a look at the pre-markets just while we're here. Again, pre-markets look a little bit challenging, actually. I'm not gonna lie. Let me click a refresh. Let me give it a refresh. Oh, what? Come on, bro. I had a marble in my hand. I dropped it. Right, pre-markets. What have we got then? So, negative on the NASDAQ, mini, very mild. On the Dow, looks like it's going to be negative. Whether this is the same, by the way, at market open, we'll have to wait and see. A little bit down on the Dow, and the Russell futures opening up. So, traders may be optimistic about that. Probably an indicator there that people are interested in a bit more risk. The Nikkei has... the Nikkei's come down, actually. That's interesting. That was way up. So, maybe this is kind of part of this little bit of a sell-off right now. Nikkei just gone flat. Shanghai down marginally. The STI is up. Hey, Hong Kong Stock Exchange up as well, by the way. And then, yeah, the Japanese versus US dollar, 159. So up on the dollar again. So this is going to push the Japanese yen down further. Interesting. So you can see there the dominating view of the dollar versus the Japanese yen. Oil looks like it's going to be flat. VIX up a little bit. So there is definitely an expectation of volatility here over the course of the next 24 hours. Very worthwhile looking at. Treasury yields look like they're flat. And then New York Stock Exchange is down. The Russell, the NASDAQ 100. So expect a little bit down on the US indices. So we could probably see maybe a slight push up on the Shanghai Open. The Japanese market will be an interesting one, actually, won't it? If you've got weakening Japanese yen, do people dump yen and buy stocks? Do they dump stocks, buy yen? Or do they dump stocks and go into the treasury yields in the US? Maybe that's why you're expecting the 3 months to rise. Interesting. Interesting. The 10-2 yields curve as well is getting worse, which means recession is easing, isn't it? Less likely, not that I'm an economist, but, you know, if you research some stuff, then that's kind of where you get to. But a less aggressive curve is, you know, generally seen as a positive. Generally seen as a positive. And yeah, you think about, you know, the 10-2 split was pretty big actually when we were in 2021. So for example, here you can see the 10-2 split. Look at 21, we were well over 1%. We're still on our way back up. This is, you know, inverted yield curve is, you know, potential recession fears to a degree. So yeah. Sounding all good for the end of January. Well, maybe. I mean, don't forget, lots can happen and we can definitely get rugged really quickly in this. Really quickly, actually. It can all go to Goblin Town before you even have a chance to sell anything. But I think what will be interesting is where we sit on this and what this looks like for tomorrow, by the way. So 7.48% currently in Q1. Wow, that's big. That's big. I mean, the average, by the way, just FYI on Q1 is 48%. Whether we're going to get to that point. Check SHIB on base chart, broski. Okay, let me bring the DeFi. Let me bring the DEX positions up here. And then, yeah, 7.48 in January so far is actually playing out to be pretty optimistic. And you'd argue historically February tends to be bullish. We could see a run right the way through to June, maybe. Maybe. Time to be bullish. Time to be bullish. What was it called again? SHIB on base. Is it literally called SHIB on base? I can't. Oh, is it that one there? Uniswap. Doesn't look like it actually. Anyway, what is Warren Buffett doing? Buying Google stocks. Well, Warren Buffett doesn't. He's done now, isn't he? He's like, he's chilling. But yeah, he bought an absolute frick ton of Google stocks. Or certainly Berkshire Hathaway did. So yeah, they bought an absolute crack ton. We can take a look at the Berkshire Hathaway portfolio here. I don't think there's anything recent, but yeah, that kind of gives you a view of what they bought, by the way, up to March 20. So, well, end of last year, but they definitely bought Google stocks. I am convinced of it. They bought like a crap ton of Google stocks. Yeah, Buffett's retired. I mean, Berkshire Hathaway is still there, isn't it? But yeah, Warren Buffett still searching. That's back in August. Wrapped ETH, WP, LS on deck screen of DYOR research. Is that Pulse Chain? Is that Pulse Chain? One time, what's going on says he's talking about Shiba Inu. Everything he buys, I buy. Who? Oh, Warren Buffett. Yeah, SHIB on base though. Is it? I don't. Is it called just? Is it called SHIB on base? Or is it like based SHIB or something? I can't find it. Oh, is it that one? Shabase. Is it Shabase? No, liquidity is 5K. It can't be that one. Anyway, I can't find it. I can't find it. Berkshire. All right, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, but yeah, he was. I'm sure he was buying. I'm sure he was buying Google stocks. Yeah, look at this. BTC looks like it's probably going to retest a $94,000 price point. Interesting here. Look, it's an interesting little push down on the market. Probably a pretty decent sell off here on the 15-minute. And what's interesting here is we're getting a bit of movement on stocks as well. So yeah, interesting indeed. Curious to see if this changes anymore. Right, close that down. I don't need that open just yet. Close that one down as well. All right, cool. Cool. I have to admit, I haven't heard much about SHIB lately. Everything seems to be about Pepe, and the worries me considering my biggest bag is SHIB. But there you go. I heard lots of people talking about Pepe today as well. Do you think XRP eventually will decouple from the traditional stock market and value is not? No, I mean, eventually, yeah, but not the minute. I mean, think about it. You are more likely to see the entire crypto market disconnect. If anything, right now, and I was talking about this ages ago, when everyone was going, oh, the crypto market's disconnected from, the stock market, like we're on our own path. We've never been more correlated. It's insane. So I think that doesn't happen until we can get to a $6, $7, $8, $9, $10 trillion market cap, and actually we become our own. I know we are essentially our own group, but yeah. I mean, a little bit, Craig. I don't think we decouple from the traditional markets for a long time. And as you've got banks and everything else coming in, then it's good. Now what happens with Thursday with tariffs? Well, let's get a vote out there and see how people feel about start a poll. By the way, if you've got any questions and thoughts, let me know. Do you think they vote yes or no on tariffs? All right, it's a pretty broad thing. So yes or no. Yes, they vote that they are illegal. No, they vote they're not illegal. All right. So yes, bad, no, good. All right. I think anyway. If they even vote, and that's the crazy thing, isn't it? If they even vote, they might be like, oh, well, we're going to leave it. We're going to leave it. We're not going to worry about it. Don't tell anyone. We're not going to vote on it again. Trump's not going to be happy, but it's fine. We'll see. Right. What's the early voting? The early voting coming in right now. 73% of you guys think they vote again. So they vote that they are illegal. Interesting. Interesting. Is it a bad poll? I voted yes, meaning to vote no, but it's really up in the air. The judges on the Republican side are pretty fair. I mean, that's true. That's true. It's probably going to be some tariff legal, some no. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't know what the actual full bill is because I haven't really seen it. Where is it? Let's see if we can find what the actual full bill is. So the Trump, because it's like something against Trump, isn't it? Let's see if we can find it. Had to go get my car. My biggest bag is SHIB too, Magic Craig. Joyce, what's going on? It's like a yes, no. Yeah, it's a bad vote. I'm sorry. Yes is essentially they vote that they are illegal. No, they vote they're not illegal. That's probably where we are. So, oh, here we go. I've got them. Oh, man. Trump versus consulted case. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. This one, I think. So, Learning Resources Inc. versus Trump from November 5th. So, let's see. Oh, there's a lot here, isn't it? Learning Resources. Okay. Brief amicus of the US. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Look how many people are in there. So where are we now? Here, proceedings and orders. Petition for a rate of certain before the judgment filed. That was on the... Oh, these are all 2025, though. Motion to expedite consideration of the petition for the writ of the Centauri before judgment filed by the... What is this? Amicus. The amicus... Right. Is it that one? Oh, and you've got Supreme Court documents listing of filings brief. Okay, let's see if we can check this one out. June, July, September, October, November. Okay, so it goes to November the 5th. Argue for federal parties. So, reply of the respondents, Donald Trump, President of the United States. Okay, main document. Let's see about this one. This is November, though. So, we didn't get anything into... They just didn't vote on it. So, IEPA authorizes... Okay, yeah, this is kind of the document. All right. I don't propose to go through this in a lot of detail, by the way, because we might be here for about a million years. But so has brought America to the brink of major economic and national security catastrophe. Oh my God, whose types this? Okay. Plaintiffs seek a ruling from this court that would effectively disarm the president in the highly competitive negotiations that reflect the United States' top foreign policy priorities. America is the risk of retaliation without adequate defenses and thwart measures to address the fentanyl crisis. Plaintiffs would unwind trade agreements worth trillions. Oh, this is like a Trump statement, isn't it? President Trump has leveraged the IEPA tariffs and negotiation framework deals with major... Okay. Plaintiffs would risk the catastrophic consequences. Man, that's a lot mouthful here. Okay, text on... Blah, 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 blah. Plaintiffs non-concerned likewise. Okay. So... The IEPA authorizes the challenged tariffs. I think the huge pumps start Thursday and Friday. We hope to say, let's hope so. So, ordinary meaning, IEPA's authorization to regulate importation plainly encompasses tariffs. The contemporaneous ordinary meaning of regulate includes the control to adjust by rule and to subject to governing laws. Tariffs are among the most common and traditional methods of control and adjusting importance, and they plainly subject imports to governing laws. President, okay, blah, 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 blah. Plaintiff argues that tariffs on the statute, other statutes you regulate in different contexts, such as the regulate the trading of domestic securities. By isolating the word regulate and assuming that the single scope of the term throughout the US code, plaintiffs contravene the interpretive principle that two words together may assume a more practical meaning than those words in isolation. Okay. I mean, there's not a lot in there, is there? I mean, I've got the full court document stuff here. Let's just keep with Bitcoin a little bit. Brief amicus of Washington State. I mean, there's like a video here. Brief amicus security of the scholars in the history of consultation law and presidency filed video. It's hurting my eyes looking at it. Has Trump sent out any debt? No, I don't think so, babes. I'm from New Jersey also. I hate New Jersey, but here I am. What's going on, Viva La Bacon? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Welcome in. If you haven't already, by the way, do us a quick little number. Just tap that like button. And also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, we'd appreciate you subscribing, all right? Content every day, keeping you posted on this market. It's all worth it, in my opinion. So hit up that subscribe button. Don't miss it. What was the original filing, by the way? Petition for the writ of... Okay, let's take a quick look at this one, by the way. Proof of service, appendix, petition, main documents. Okay. This is the main documents. Donald J. Trump in his official capacity on petition for the writ of the... okay, so President... The Supreme Court... There's just a lot here. Statement. The imposition of tariffs is distinctly legislative power assigned to the Congress. That's where you get it. When Congress has delegated that power, it has done so in a series of carefully circumscribed... Yeah, so that's kind of the big thing. Under IEPA, which is codified in Title 50, the presidential declares a national emergency with respect to an unusual and extraordinary threat. So that's the problem. Was it an extraordinary threat? I don't know. Maybe it was. Maybe it was. If all who vote are for the Trump, then it's a good day. Well, that's it. That's it. We just want to see... For me, it's all about stability. All about stability. It changed in February 25 when President Trump, in a series of executive orders, claimed authority under IEPA to impose expansive tariffs. The president began imposing 20% tariffs on China on the ground that China was not taking adequate steps to stem the flow of illicit drugs. I mean, that's the problem, is it? It's just kind of ended up being like, if he doesn't like you, you're getting a tariff. It's like as simple as that. Like, jump out, I'm going to put a tariff on you. May 30, defendants filed a notice of appeal and 3 days later filed motions to stay the preliminary injunction in both the district court and the DC circuit. The following day, without seeking a response from petitioners, the district court stayed the injunction pending deposition of the pending appeal before the United States court. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of it, isn't it? In a nutshell, it's like, well, we're just going to sue him and hopefully try and stop him doing it. The main issue was the Supreme Court findings for tariff challenges, the use of IEPA. That's kind of what he's going to kick off about. Supreme Court held oral arguments in November, and the court is yet to issue final written opinion as of Jan 13th, which is obviously today. Tomorrow, we expect to see that as well. So, is it tomorrow? Is it Thursday? Is it Thursday? I think it's Thursday. Is it Thursday? I can't see it. I think it's Thursday, right? I think it's Thursday. I'm a little surprised in the markets that we got an average CPI data and pump like crazy anyway. Well, I think a lot of the pump in the market. It's Thursday, all right, cool. A lot of the pump in the market, by the way, is I think to do with the Japanese yen, and I just think people aren't seeing that. And you know, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. There's a lot of arguments to say that it is, though. Just in my very humble opinion, I think it's kind of where we sit. But yeah, yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, yeah, it could be interesting for sure. Let's hope the best outcome comes out. That's what we want, innit? Whether it's good, whether it's bad, as long as it's good for the markets, good for what we've got, that's kind of where I'm at. And yeah, I mean, hopefully we can get this little reversal. It'd be nice, wouldn't it? A little reversal, push the 95k, BTC goes to the absolute freaking moon, and be down for it, baby. Let's hope we get there, hey? Let's hope we get there. Vern's in the building, everybody. What's going on, Vern? Good to see you, man. In Massachusetts, we unfortunately have Healy and Warren. What the heck is that? Bullish. A Night Star. Thank you, my man. Vern, are we doing the show tonight? Are you down, yeah? Do you think this is a correction before continuing down, or is it different? I think it's different. Now, hold on, drop me marble. I think it's different, but I'm not going to be like, oh, this is it. Like, this is it, baby. Like, we're going to the moon. Like, I'm not in that place. At this moment in time, I'm not there. Once we get to 98k, I'll start to believe, okay, good. First point of call, break 95.6. I posted this out on X earlier on today. If we get that break, good news. Then the next one, 98k, break that. If we're to start like 103,000 come Monday morning next week, I'm going to be like, bruh, I'm like back in. Do you know what I mean? Which people might say, oh, God, yeah, it's tomorrow, and it's Wednesday. Oh, my God. I'm sat here like, oh, Vern's coming on the show. It's tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow, Vern and I are going to be live. I'm about to put out a post and get some people to show. Let's do it, Vern. I'm down. Don't forget, tomorrow night, Vern and I, give this man a follow. Look, Crypto Vern, follow him. We'll be live on TikTok after my usual show. So tune in. It's going to be good. It's been a minute since we did it as well. So do not sleep on that show. It's going to be great. Man, are you guys still talking about bloody roundabouts? Absolutely wild. Wild. Okay. What was I going to look at? I was going to look at something then, but I've totally forgot what I was going to look at. Oh, well, do you see the UK that Keir Starmer has gone back on digital IDs? That's pretty bullish. They will no longer be mandatory. Way, good news. Good news, everybody. Right. I don't have anything to talk about. Right. Good. All right. Well, there's not really anything else. If you guys got any questions, thoughts, opinions, we'll stick around for another about 5 minutes, and then I am out of here. Look out for some great content, by the way. You don't want to miss it. Show them a picture of a roundabout. I mean, have we got to that point now? There's like nothing else to talk about in the crypto market. It's like, show them a roundabout, bro. You can actually buy a book about roundabouts. I bought my dad it for Christmas. There you go. Look, there's a roundabout. If you were ever curious about what roundabouts are, they keep the flow of traffic. Look. So, for example, I can't even believe I'm doing this. I actually cannot believe I'm doing this, but I'm going to do it anyway. So you can see how you come in. So, for example, a car could come in here and go around this way at the same time. A car could come in here and go this way. So you get this cyclical motion. Look, so cars in, They go round and you come out of it. Like, it keeps the flow of traffic, stops all the kind of, you know, weird stuff and stop and start traffic. I am not going to go through different types of roads. Man, here we go. BTC to the moon. Look at it. Nice little bounce back here. What are we seeing on the order books? Ooh. Yeah, I think it must be all futures driven. Look at that. We're not seeing any spot trade, any big spot trades. 100K buy. That's about it. It's got to be in futures. Surely we're seeing like big futures contracts come in. Let's take a look. Yeah, look at this. Nearly $1 million long position. Wow, man. People are bullish, you know. People are freaking bullish on these markets. Let's take a look at open interest really quickly before I'm out of here. Open interest. Where am I looking for? Why am I not seeing where it is? Open interest. Here it is. Oh yeah, look, tick back up on open interest. Interesting. From the lows of 87K, ticking back up on open interest. Maybe people are feeling a little bit more optimistic. Maybe people are like, hey, man, BTC is absolutely fucking skyrocketing right now. Let's go, baby. What's going on? People are like, babe, give me some more. I mean, people are selling into this. Look at this, 676K. 150K, 150K, 165K. Wow. People are like, give me some more Bitcoin, baby. Pump this market. Here we go. 95K incoming. Get the tweet out. Clip that. Yeah, look at these coming in. Like, oh my God. Oh my God. The market's going crazy right now, bro. Let's send it to oblivion. Holy shit, TikTok. Look at this. BTC. BTC. We're probably going to see massive dumping now. Now I've moved TikTok round. Now they're still buying. Look, man, people are still buying these futures. Like, we could definitely see 95K. Oh, look at that. Bosh. Let's get it. We ride ship to the moon. Viva la bacon. Fast Sonny says short squeeze before the dump, sweep the low liquidity, and then get back for the continual relief rally. I mean, BTC looks like it wants to rally harder. It looks like it wants to go higher here. Look. Some decent volume coming in. Nice little volume spikes. The buy pressure looks pretty solid here right now. We can tick this up a little bit. Let's tick it up a little bit and slow it down. But yeah, I mean, look at some of these buys coming in right now. Here we go, look. Here we go, look. It's coming. It's coming. 95, Tim. 95. 1.7 million missed opportunity. There we go. Too many still on some memes. Yeah. I still own Bonk, Pepe. Man, BTC's got 95K. Told you 95K were coming. You all said I was crazy. Who's your daddy? I didn't mean that. Holy shit. What is going on right now? What is short this mother trucker? Short it. Oh my God. Liquidations. Who's pushing? What is happening right now? I'm losing my mind, everybody. We are losing our fucking mind. What is this? Jesus Christ. Breaking news. What's happening? Oh, they always ruin it, don't they? They always ruin it. Like, who's selling? Come on, bro. Is there some breaking news? I don't see any breaking news. I just see a massive spike on Bitcoin, which is wild, everybody. Wild right now. BTC going to the moon. I don't see any breaking news, by the way. None. What I do see, though, is a 3,300 Ethereum, which is pretty freaking bullish. I mean, look at some of these numbers here that's coming in. Let's adjust this because it's hard to keep up, actually. Let's take this to bigger. Let's go to 80K. Man, yeah, BTC, it feels like it wants to push a little bit more. Look. Let's full send it. Did anyone short the market? Jake Cleaver was right. Well, he said like a 3-figure XRP is at 216. Let's not get ahead of ourselves just yet. Jim Crimmer said Bitcoin is crap. Oh my God. Oh no. We're going to zero. Jim, what did you do to us? Yeah, I mean, here we go. Look, it's a liquidation event. Oh, Bitcoin. No. Too much excitement. Yeah, can you imagine people are making the inverse October 10th would be freaking wild. Yeah, so I don't see... The only thing I see is breaking news. President Trump has been accused of flipping off a protester who was allegedly constantly taunting and threatening him. That's kind of what I want to see. What's the next resistance? I mean, you'd have to go onto the daily candles, in fairness. I mean, it looks like it's hit the 100-day EMA right now and looks like a retest off that. I mean, even that, though, I mean, if we close above 95, I think, what did I say? 95 point, what did I say? What was my tweet? 95.6. That was what I put out. So I tweeted this out earlier. Again, if you're not following me on X, go and check it out. Could it be 95.6K? Look out for it. That was my target that I had as a potential move out of here. So it looks like we're kind of, getting-ish near it. Definitely feels a little bit like a market push, though. Back down to 95.4. So still, that was a pretty epic move in the markets right now. That was a big old move. Let's take a look at the order books. So yeah, look at some of these coming in right now. So these are big futures contracts right now. Just wiped a ton of liquidity. I mean, look at that liquidity though, 95K. That sell order, 716 from BTC it's a pretty big number. That's a pretty big number. When we were coming all the way, but stop getting excited, 2-bit. It's a waste of time. It's all going to zero. Anyway. They're going to liquidate late longers. Yeah, 100%. I mean, what do you get? Shorts. $500 million on shorts. Oh my gosh. Feels great. Feels great. Look at some of these. Yeah, look at this. ETH USDT. These crazy people going massive longs. $9 million. 12 million longs got liquidated. They wonder why market makers do it. I mean, look at that. That's 20 million in like 3 exchanges. That's insane. 8 milli. These were big liquidations here on the shorts. It's a big number. $570 million is not a small amount. Bro, what just happened? I mean, there's nothing really. Just market makers having some fun, I think. Market makers having some fun. What's interesting, though, is where we now sit here on some key supports. So Bitcoin, you could officially say, is now broken out. Still, but look at ETH. Look at ETH rallying above the 618. Holy crap. ETH is absolutely skyrocketing right now. Great news. Solana 147 breaking out. What else have we got that was looking at? Sui, marginal. HBAR. This HBAR trade is going to be a monster. Loving that. Near protocol up. AVAX is running right now. ICP's up. Memes. Let's take a look at memes. Oh, Pepe is up 11%. Memes going crazy right now. Memes breaking out. Man, that means like, yeah, I mean, this is definitely a little bit of retail FOMO, I think, right now. Man, memes are going crazy. You love to see it, baby. BTC is pushing again. I mean, well, 95.6. So we are, we're trying to break out a little bit. You're going to see a little bit of sell pressure coming in right now. Here's the futures contracts coming in. So, definitely some definite selling off here. 95.5. Look, 95.6. It's going to be bullish, in my opinion. ETH looks great on the daily. Yeah, it really does, actually. It really does. And look, I'm cool with this move. Like, this is a solid move. I mean, look at this. You just tick the market to 3.22. We just put a $500 million on the market cap of Bitcoin. Pretty insane. What's causing this rally? Not really sure is the honest answer. I can't see anything coming out other than just a bit of liquidity hunting, like taking out some shorts. But I don't see anything. There's no breaking news I can see right now. We haven't got any leaked documents or anything that's kind of come in to say, yeah, CPI would have moved. Don't forget, CPI came out earlier, 2:30. But yeah, nothing really. Now, whether there is something, I mean, the spot positions would be an interesting one. But yeah, I mean, Fat Sonic says, liquidity hunt. Was it Bitcoin ETFs? I mean, you're going to end up with nearly $1 billion of liquidations. We just want to see it way more on the downside, i.e. liquidate the shorts, baby. That's not what I wanted to go into. Hold on a minute. I mean, it'd be wild if it was. It'd be wild if it was. Let's take a look. No, they're still pretty much flat from where they were. Markets closed. Unless they did some like crazy end buys, but yeah, I mean, we're coming back down though now, look. So we are, that's how you can tell it's a liquidity hunt. The debate will be whether we see this reversal come back in on the long. So, this massive long push, liquidate loads of shorts, and then flip it back on its other end, and then liquidate the late longs into the market. Everyone like going, oh my God, we're going to the moon. Like, it's going to be great. Which you can sort of see now coming in. And again, you can see here, look, so we put this on $1 million liquidations. Well, but let's put it on 100K ones, actually. So you can see long liquidations, late comes, that are like, market's going to the moon, like, quick, I need to get into it. That absolute, like, insanity FOMOing in is kind of then what you see. So we're looking for probably to stabilize and then maybe push back a little bit. For me, though, we talked about this line, didn't we? 95 would be good. 95.6 would be where I'd want to see us. But, I mean, in theory, like, we're pretty much on the money. It probably needs 97K would be this move here, because you would take this trend line from the original, the original sort of move here, and then you put it on the breakout, which was here. Giving you kind of that indication here at the top end. So, maybe we get it. Oh, my. Oh, I dropped the marble again. Bro, what the heck? Come on. Maybe we get it. But look, from a daily perspective, it's pretty bullish. Whether we see a bit more volume coming in, a bit more appetite. But I don't see any reason as to why the market's doing what it's doing. But hey, we'll take it right now. We will take it right now. Send it higher. I was going to go to bed, but then I viewed the charts. Yeah, exactly, Bitunix. I was going to end the live stream, but I'm like, hey, let's keep sending it. Let's keep very bullish, everybody. And yeah, hopefully we see some more upside momentum, but nothing is coming in right now that I can see. But I mean, that's a big old chunk of liquidity into that market. A big old chunk of liquidity. But what's interesting is the meme coins are absolutely pumping. 14% now on Bonk, 12. So memes are moving hard right now. Pengu, if you're in Pengu, by the way, shout out to you guys crushing it right now. So yeah, memes are the interesting one, which tells us it's probably retail. Now, maybe it's coordinated retail, maybe it's sensible retail. Think about it this way. Let's try and work it out. Why would all of a sudden at the end of my live stream, retail be like, hey, I'm just going to chuck $500 million into crypto? Like, why? Nah, sale or purchase on a Monday. Why would they throw 500 million in? No, Asian market is another 2 hours till it opens. There's no reason for this move other than FOMO for something. I don't really know, to be honest. I don't really know. It's definitely an interesting move. 100% liquidity on retail is getting wrecked on meme futures. Well, maybe. I mean, the market's trying to push back up a little bit right now. Market definitely trying to give it as give a little bit more back to the market. So yeah. Ardon says, was it something to? I mean, I honestly don't know really. Do with South Korea? I mean, are the South Korean markets even open? All I can see everywhere is people like, hey, it's, we're back above this. It's bullish. There's no reason for this pump, which probably tells us it's a liquidity hunt. Let's take a look really quickly, actually. Let's take a look at the heat map. Heat might give us a little bit more indication as to what that really looked like. So, yeah, I mean, there was a bit of liquidity. There's a little bit more here to the upside that we just wiped out. Yeah, we wiped out a bit. Well, a lot, actually, in fairness. Let's go to the 3-day. Trump's giga bullish speech earlier today. I mean, it was pretty good, in fairness. I did see a little bit of it, but yeah, I mean, we've definitely wiped out some of this stronger liquidity positions to the upside. Maybe we come back down, retest 93.5. Maybe. I think when you look at the order books, though, I mean, 95 is on the futures market. Remember, these are futures market. Let's look at the spot real quickly, just to get a bit of a flavor. I mean, if we can break 95.4, well, 95.5, we probably need to break. We could see 97. I mean, that sounds absolutely freaking insane, but look how pathetic the liquidity range is right now. So if we can get a bit more of a push here, which, markets feel like they're trying to do, they're trying to push the markets, then yeah, we could be pretty freaking bullish here. We could see 97K. Keeping, no reason, mate. No reason at all that we can see so far. We're trying to analyze it. We're trying to understand it. But as it stands right now, there is no specific reason for this move. Wales are getting ready for Thursday. Clarity Act sign-in. I mean, let's hope so. Yeah, everyone's just speculating, but I mean, oil futures to come down. Just in, Cynthia Loomis calls for Congress to pass the crypto market structure legislation. That was an hour ago. 20 minutes ago says U.S. Senate Cynthia Loomis urges Congress to pass the Bitcoin bill. So I'm not seeing anything that is like, oh, this has been announced, or that's been announced, or tariffs have been announced, or, So Trump said, under my stewardship, the economy is booming. Manufacturing renaissance is soaring. Household incomes are powering GDP gains that have never been seen in decades, and we are undergoing a disinflationary boom. Private sector has grown by over 5%. So yeah. Nothing that at this moment is triggering this market other than probably a little bit of bullish sentiment and a, liquidation event. That's probably about as good as we get, really. Why the jump in Bitcoin? No idea. Other than a bit of a liquidation. South Korea just announced plans to list Bitcoin ETFs this year. I thought they announced them ages ago. Clarity Act is the only thing that makes sense for this pump. But that would then deem that they know something that we don't. Otherwise, it would have pumped already. If you think about it. Why would it pump now at market close? So South Korea ends 9-year corporate crypto ban with guidelines finalized. That was 12 hours ago. See, nothing's happened in the last hour, by the way. Nothing happened. I mean, ETH looks pretty good in fairness. Look at this. In the 15-minute, ETH is pushing a little bit harder. So, yeah. I mean, that's true, Mike. That is true. But yeah, hey, we'll take it. That's my view. That is my view, and you know, we'll endeavor to keep an eye on what's going on. Clarity Act. The only thing I would say with the Clarity Act is like, why didn't it pump earlier? Like, why is it pumped now? That's the debate, isn't it? Why all of a sudden? I mean, what markets have opened up at 10 o'clock UK time? Not many. I mean, we are sapping this liquidity. You know, I mean, we could see a freaking insane rally. Tariffs, maybe. I mean, maybe. I mean, yeah, it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one. There's no real reason, in my opinion. No real reason. I guess it is what it is. Hey, look, I'd rather take it on a pump to the upside than a dump to the downside. What's interesting is we are trying to sap this liquidity. I mean, look at the order books. Nothing super crazy coming in here with volume-wise, but we are trying our best. I said we. I mean, I'm not buying any Bitcoin, but they're certainly trying to wipe some of this liquidity out right now. You know, a good chunk was just taken then. You know, as this tries to push hard, like there's a bit of fight going on. Like we can take this out. You can, you know, we need kind of someone to come in and buy 200 Bitcoin and boom, shakalaka, we could be heading up to 97K. It's pretty quickly, actually. But look, 95.4, 95.5. We break that. I'll be pretty bullish where we're going. Fat Sonics can go down a lot as well. Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, of course it can. Of course it can. That is the nature of this beast, isn't it? That is the nature of the beast, that it can as easily go up as it comes down. We all know that from you know, from a good bit, and you know, market's trying to push down a little bit. So nothing super crazy on selling, by the way. There's always a reason us pawns just don't get to know about it yet. Wall Street front runners always. I mean, that could be true. You definitely could be in an argument of saying, look, somebody knows something they don't, and all of a sudden Wall Street just came piling into the market. The debate here would be, if we hold a higher price range, then maybe there's something attached to it for sure. Will XRP hit $1 again? Personally, no, I don't think so, but that's just my opinion. I bet bullish after 104K. Well, my bull market go or no go zone is 99,000. That's where I'm like, okay, this could get pretty tasty, and we'll see. But you know, look, we'll take a 4.5% move on BTC. The question is not about how high you pump today; it's about how much you dump tomorrow, in my opinion. No, I don't think XRP gets back to $1. I don't think it does, unless it's like some big black swan event to do with Ripple. I don't think it gets back down. Big break, do we reckon? I mean, let's kind of wait and see, in my opinion. Let's see. I mean, we are definitely trying to push back in. We're not seeing crazy, which tells me it's probably futures contracts rather than spot buys at the minute. So you've got you've probably got some pretty big money messing around with futures. So again, we'll sort of see what some of these are coming in. Look at that. A long position at $2.58 million at 95,400. That's what's just ticked us back up again. So yeah, some pretty big numbers here, diving into some pretty solid contracts out here on BTC. So, hey, look, it's all good news. If you ask me, we'll take it. We're bullish. We are bullish, baby. I just want to know I've got a good amount of XRP. I mean, yes, I mean, I'm in, but why would it dump back to $1? That's what you got to ask yourself. If you think the bear market's here and we're going to zero, then, you know, you probably think that. I think nothing gets to $1. I mean, you're talking a 60% retrace. Stop showing my long. Sorry, F Joe. Sorry, bro. Yeah, I mean, you're going to see a little bit of volatility right now. Look at this. You know, that's my view at the minute. I think there's kind of like a little bit of jostling, a little bit of back and forth. Like, who fancies it? We want the Bulls to win. Come on, Bulls. Bear trap, or this may be the run, but the tariff news is bad then. Well, I mean, if we get bad tariff news, maybe. I think it's interesting that it's holding this price range right now. I think anyway. I think this is an interesting. So 30 minutes still very much green. The 15-minute here, a little bit of a wick down, but it's interesting. We're holding up this level, by the way. And look at this, 660 million in liquidations. That is great to see. $410 million on the shorts liquidated in the last hour is great. Tomorrow, Vern. Yeah, they vote on the so tomorrow's Supreme Court votes. Thursday is market structure bill. Yeah, I Bitunix, I agree. Oscaris just into 410 million liquidated. Yeah. By the way, if you're brand new to the channel, welcome. I live stream 6 days a week. We're on our way to nearly 200 people on the live. Give us a thumbs up. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button. That way you know that I go live every single night, breaking the markets down, getting into all of it. And FYI, by the way, we have been live on some insane events. We were live for the October 10th liquidations. We've been here when massive pumps, massive dumps. We've been through it all. We've seen the XRP manipulation. We've seen fake moves, everything. This is the channel you need to be subscribed to, in my opinion. Definitely worth it. Equally follow us on TikTok. So, yeah. If you haven't already hit the subscribe button, definitely check it out. Also, we have a free Discord. It's cool as cucumbers. Get your sends in there as well. And by the way, if you want to support the channel and get a little bit more, including our trade bots and everything else, grab a channel membership down at the bottom. Click the join button. It costs you about $6 a month. All good. Okay. What's going on, team? Andy Smith, what's going on, buddy? Yo, yo, yo. Morning. Andy, baby, it's the building. What is causing BTC to pump? The gamble. We don't really know. There's nothing specific that has come out. There's nothing that's been shared anywhere. Although we have got a Watcher Guru announcement. Let's see what this is. I imagine it's just the price of BTC. Just in 410 million worth of crypto shorts liquidated. Okay, yeah, cool. Breaking over 400 million worth of leverage shorts been liquidated. Crypto assets are sharply now on a 2-month high. Oh, I tell you what we should look at. Japanese yen. Well, the Japanese yen ticked up actually. So it's not the yen. Who knows then right now? Who knows? I mean, midnight, we get the markets open in about half an hour. So, sorry, an hour and a half. So, yeah, we'll see. I put a strong floor on XRP at 198. Yeah, I think 192 was kind of where I was at. Burn says, do you talk about XRP? Yes, every day, in fact. Go and check out my YouTube channel, link in the bio. I also put content out on here as well. Check out my profile, drop a follow. We really appreciate it. But yeah, I actually dropped an XRP video that I thought way more people would watch, which was almost a look into the fact that BlackRock are already using RLUSD. What? It's officially on one of their finance statements. Go and check the video out. It's live now on YouTube. It's worthwhile. I bought 5,000 XRP. One was $1. Nice. Yeah, we were buying here on the channel at about 38 cents. So you found a great community that lots of people are bullish on XRP. So, yeah, welcome. And I think you've got a good token there, in my opinion. I hold XRP, as do many of the community as well. Are you a fan of Zebek? I was, and I still like it, by the way, as a coin. I think it's a good coin. I sold on mine, though, so I'm not in it at all because I didn't like the fact that it pumped when markets dumped and then vice versa. I couldn't be bothered. So, but I know a lot of people are. I think the concept's good. The narrative's good. The company that sits behind it is good as well. Yeah, Ondo, nice little move here. Look at that, 16% on ICP, winding me up right now, bro. What? What was I going to look at? Monero. Oh my god, 681 on Monero. Look at the memes market though. Look at this, Pepe, absolutely pumping right now, big time. Bonk, 15%. Brett, Pengu up 14. So you guys that were talking about it, then yeah, I really believe in that. But you're a good community then to follow. Yeah, 100%. Get in the Discord. It's totally free. Get in there, you have to verify yourself, but it's free. And since we've got rid of loads of the like weird verification stuff, the Discord's way cleaner now, I think, as well. Way cleaner. And yeah, so many less people that are like out for bad things. So the Discord's pretty cool, I think. Could do with being a bit more like, you know, chatty, which would be great. But yeah, check out my bio, get in the Discord, totally worth it. And yeah, you'll find all the links in there, channel memberships, all that good stuff. 2-bit FET, what's our break even? Any ideas? Man, about $2, I think. Yeah, we're down bad on that one, Tim. We're down that. I mean, I haven't even looked. I couldn't even tell you what they are. Let me have a look. Log in. Is it this one? I can't remember what it is. Is it this one? Is this the one that I need? Oh god, it makes me feel ill, Tim, looking at it. It makes me feel ill looking at it. This turned out, it shouldn't have been like this, Tim. It shouldn't have been like this. Yeah, Fetch AI is, I mean, it's killing us at 2.5 grand down. $2. $2. So yeah, Ondo's a killer as well at 1,000. AOZ. I mean, it's one of those, isn't it, where you just kind of go, whatever. Whatever. Just leave it and worry about it on a different day. That's my opinion right now. It's up last 14 days, not that much. Yeah, I mean, that's the problem. We're down that far on it. But yeah. What do you think about XLM? I think it'll run big if we get a good move on XRP. And actually the broader market comes with us. But yeah, we'll see. I'm betting on the smart folks. There we are. Not a bad idea. Look, guys, the reason I trade leverage is diversify and be versatile, not to maximize gains, but be careful. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, look, you got to be sensible in these markets. Should you be trading an enormous pump? Probably not. There does feel like there is a demand, though, here. Like, futures contracts feel pretty crazy at the minute. 500,000. Like, they're pretty big numbers coming in right now. And the fact that Bitcoin is holding this liquidity range is pretty interesting as well. So let's, let's see if we get a bit of continuation to the upside. That would be great news, by the way. Yeah, I agree, Tim, as well. I agree. I think we're in that move. So, good. Right, what time is it? Oh my God, it's like nearly 25 to 11. We've been live an hour and 40 minutes, which is pretty bullish, actually. I'm loving life right now. To be honest, I haven't put anything in XLM. No, I mean, I don't have anything in XLM. Maybe oil. What's happening in Iran? Well, I would assume I would have got a notification, but I don't see anything happening right now. Biggest crypto news this week. We know President Trump announced that. Yeah, so there's nothing I can see that's going on. If I'm dead honest. Yeah, no real reason. I mean, oil. We can take a look at the price of oil futures, which is where's oil futures here? Look. So oil futures are up. So expectation is price of oil is going to go up 4.91%, $61 a barrel. So oil's ticked up actually. If you think about it. With probably this stuff with Iran, I mean, maybe they stop it coming in, but gold futures down. I mean, maybe it's the rotation out of commodities. Gold's down, futures down on gold, 4.6 on futures. Silver is up a little bit, 86.10. So yeah, futures look okay actually on that. And BTC looks like it's holding. I mean, this could find a new floor, and maybe 95.3 is that key bit, and away we go. Maybe. I mean, there's probably an argument here to sort of say, well, is there an even bigger bullish pattern that's starting to play out here? Look, does that almost become the big break? And actually 95K becomes that big breakout right now from this enormous triangle. Maybe it does. Bro. And let's hope, hey, we're in for a solid move. BTC dominance dumping, is it? Well, yeah, a little bit actually. I mean, look at alts. I mean, ETH's at 33.20. Like, that's pretty crazy right now. It's a pretty big move. It's a pretty big move for some of these. So yeah, bullish in my opinion. Barton coming. Oh no, first person. Let's hope not. Let's hope not. Let's fingers crossed. I mean, again, it would be interesting to see what happens. Like the Asian markets open, it's like boom and just dumps to oblivion. But hey, we'll see. We will see. Right, everybody. I am gonna have to call that as a night though. But thank you everybody for tuning in, man. We peaked at like 170 people in the stream. So thank you so much, everybody. Don't forget, I live stream every single day, 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. UK time. We talk about markets. We analyze charts. I'm not going to say we called this insane move that's just happened in the last hour, but we've certainly called the breakout down here. We've called this breakout. My H-bar trade is now going to be looking freaking sane. So we called this H-bar break. So we've been kind of calling some good plays recently. So if you're interested in getting a little bit more of that, jump in the free Discord. Likewise, if you want to trade all of these, Bitunix, link in the description, no KYC, and some great user sign-up bonuses. But we love seeing the Discord. It's great. Don't dream about roundabouts. And also, don't forget, I've got content coming out every day, keeping you guys dialed in to the market. So if you want more, then make sure you tune into the channel as always. Thank you so much, everybody. I'll be back tomorrow night. Let's hope we're at like 97K. Watch out. We could even see further upside moves. Couple of hours for the markets opening in Japan. Watch out for Shenzhen, 3 a.m. in the morning as well, or 2:30. Could be pretty volatile. But until tomorrow, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. See you soon, yeah? Bye-bye.